Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Think Wrestling. My name is Tom. This is Talking Wrestling, and I'm here with a guest I've been trying to get an interview with now for quite a few months. We were supposed to do one at Nothing But Wrestling last year, but I arrived at the venue late because I got lost, so we didn't have time to. That was entirely my fault. But anyway, I'm finally here with Liam Roberts / Will Starr. Yep. Now, I want to start off by asking about your names, because you wrestle as Will Starr and Lee Roberts, and I just want to know why that is.
Well, I think everyone in Cov knows me as Will.
Yeah.
So I started working as Liam Roberts, which is really, it's the same name essentially, because it's Will Liam.
Yeah.
William. So, but yeah, everyone knows in Cov knows me as Will. So
yeah.
I just kind of kept it as Will. And then, Will Starr. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically a case of trying to keep it as trying to make it as unconfusing as you possibly could, basically, by making sure that people at Coventry know you definitely as Will Starr, and then everywhere else you wrestle as Liam Roberts. I imagine that must get quite confusing for the announcers though, if they're constantly needing to switch between Will Starr and Liam Roberts.
It depends where you meet me and when you've met me.
Yeah.
Some people, if they've met me at another show where I'm Liam Roberts, they'll just call me Liam.
Yeah.
And then other people just know me as Will. But pretty much everyone in Cov calls me Will. So
yeah.
I just thought it'd be a bit weird for me to start asking people in Coventry start calling me Liam, you know.
Yeah.
And I might as well just carry on.
I feel that's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I think I don't think I've ever referred to you as Liam once, but because the first time I saw you was here, so so I didn't actually know you wrestled as Liam Roberts until you made a debut for Pro Wrestling Subjective, and said Liam Roberts who? Oh, that's him. Oh, okay, okay, fair enough. You got two names only to maybe that for interview.
Branding, I'm probably not the best at branding. This one is.
Well. Hey, at least this way people definitely remember you. You can be known as the guy with two names. So at least it's.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there.
I mean, it didn't just showing up on there, so hopefully you won't be able to hear that. There's just like a fan thing. there's apparently a fan giant enormous vent thing going through the ceiling.
This is the quiet room.
This is basically the quiet room. Yes. Anyway, that isn't showing up on the recording thing, so hopefully you won't hear that. But if you do, sorry, there's not much I can do about that really. Anyway, so I do want to actually go back to your first ever memory of wrestling and ask. When I say that, I don't necessarily mean what it was that got you interesting, because that could be a different thing altogether. I mean, the first time the first memory you have of ever watching wrestling, whether you loved it or you hated it, is what was the first thing you ever remember?
So it's kind of weird for me. I know everyone else most people have that first memory.
I don't. So I can't remember at all what my first memory was. For me, I think I've got 5 different stories what it was. I just can't remember.
Yeah, for me, it's always been a part of my life. I've always been a fan. It's just for as long as I can remember. I don't really remember that first ever moment. It was just, I was just obsessed with it as a kid. I just had all the toys. I didn't have cuddly toys. I had the action figures.
Oh, so
I was, literally obsessed with it. I used to have the ring. That was by the time I was 2.
Oh, God.
So it's literally...
Started very young then.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just... I guess it's just always on the TV, and I just stuck to it for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
So my first passion, my first love.
Yeah.
And I was just obsessed with it since.
So then my guess is that you've got family members who are quite into it. Then, if it was on the TV all the time, then if you got like a family watch it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, just as long as I can remember.
Yeah, so
I do remember like having VHSs and things like that. I remember having Royal Rumble 92.
Oh, yeah.
With,
the old school like WWF stuff,
Yeah, when Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble, I remember watching that over and over as a kid.
Yeah.
I was just drawn to like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels,
essentially
guys like that. And I was never, just growing up, I was always drawn to people who, the technicians.
I
was never.
I think that shows very much in your in-ring style. You're very much a technical wrestler, aren't you?
I mean, when I look back on my childhood now, look, I didn't know it at the time, but I was always studying wrestling. I've always studied it.
Yeah.
I was never one of those kids who just wanted
just watched it for no other reason than just to watch it.
I was
really.
never like behind whoever got the big push. I was never.
Yeah.
I mean, I would pop for Hulk Hogan or something like that because everyone else did. So I was a fan. I was just going along with it, but at the same time, I'd see him like raking people's eyes. I'd be like, what? But then I'd find myself drawn to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair because I didn't know at the time, but it's because of their selling and their technique and their bumping, their feeding and things like that. So I didn't know at the time, but that's what I was fascinated with.
So from a very young age, you're basically being drawn to the more technical side of it, maybe without even realising it.
I loved Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And then even in the Attitude Era later on, I loved The Rock, Austin, but like X-Pac, I loved him. And again, at the time I didn't know it, but I was actually studying the way he would sell. And that's what I was a fan of. And so I've just always been a fan of the storytellers and the technicians. I was always fascinated with how they would do the moves, how they would work together to pull off the moves and make them look so crisp. So again, I didn't know that's what I was looking at the time. But that's
you just basically didn't realise it until much later. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I was like, it's called selling. Oh, there's a name
that's
for
what
it.
you do.
And it's so I was just fascinated by that and just drawn to that. I was never one of these kids who just wanted to beat up their friends using wrestling moves. I was like, okay, so how do they work together to do that move? How does that actually happen? What's the technique behind it? I was always fascinated by that. So I guess.
So basically, since before you can actually remember, you've been drawn to the essentially the science behind it more than
Put it
the
this
actual...
way, by the time I was about 6, I could do a figure 4 leg lock and a sharpshooter perfectly execute. I was doing it in the school playground with my friends, but it was properly executed. So I was studying Indian deathlocks a lot. Like by the time I was 10, I could do it. Yeah.
So you just paid no attention whatsoever to the whole "don't try this at home" thing.
Oh, no. Who does? Always.
That's actually it. I don't know a single person. I think every single wrestling fan I've ever spoken to at some point has told me that they were chokeslammed by their brother on the
Even
trampoline.
that, I remember getting chokeslammed by my friends and stuff. And I would actually jump for them. I wouldn't just fight it, or I would I'm going to work with you to make this look good. So maybe I was just a weird kid.
I mean, they might have thought of that as quote weird, but I think
it's paid off for me.
It's paid off very well, it shows a lot in the way you work in the ring. You're very much sort of more technical based wrestler, aren't you? I mean, you try to. I say this is just complete assumption, but based on what you said, I'm going to assume that you try to base your moves on what you saw on the TV and try to essentially bring them to life in the match again. That's a complete assumption. I may be completely wrong.
I'm a real student of the game. I take a lot of pride in that. So I study a lot of different styles, and like I said, from a younger age, I was studying it. So I've always tried to look at the technique behind things, and obviously I've had a lot of different teachings and things like that. I'm just a fan of the old British style. We have a great tradition and heritage in our country, so
we do.
I think that's important to keep that alive. So I watch a lot of old World of Sport stuff, and you know, so
That they also for like giant haystacks and people like that in it.
well, yeah.
I mean,
I'm not studying him, but
yeah.
I
can say that's quite a.
I've got a bit of a different body type to him.
Just a bit.
The technicians, you know, Regal, Finley, Marty Jones, Pete Roberts. You know, just all the great technicians.
So
Rocco.
you grew up basically. I'm gonna basically they were your entire world. Basically, you would spend your life trying to just not basically trying to replicate what they do in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the older I got, the more I would study different things and the more I'd educate myself.
Yeah, evolving. That's what you
styles, need. You know, the Japanese style as well of the 90s junior heavyweight stuff.
Oh yeah,
the Eddie Guerreros and Shinjiro Tanis, things like that. So people like that. So I'm just a student of the game, and I just love watching wrestling. I love studying it, and just.
And you basically never look back since, essentially, haven't you?
No, I will be 80 and I'll be studying Rock and Roll Express matches. You know,
that's the best way to do it. I can say once you get into it this much, you don't really ever go out of it, do you?
Never.
No. So
once you get the book, that's it.
Yeah, that's basically Once you do that, you're into it. There is no backing out of it now.
Yeah.
So, what age exactly did you start looking for schools to pursue wrestling training in?
I think I was 16.
Yeah.
Basically walked out of school. I didn't. I was in sixth form and I just didn't really have a passion for anything. I didn't want to do anything and. I just went.
So you just walked out of school?
Yeah, when the best time of my life was, didn't really have much going for myself. I weren't interested in anything, so I was just like. I remember the teacher saying to me, "Well, you don't have to be here." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." I just went. So yeah, you're right. I'll see you later.
You are the only person I've ever spoken to ever take the teacher up on that whole thing. You have to be here. Okay, I'll leave then.
Well, I took it literally. I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Okay, see ya.
Yeah, this is a choice, sixth form. So yeah, I'm off. See ya. And then I think I just looked for a training school, so a local one in Coventry, and I just started from there. So I think it was 16, 17. So yeah, that's how it all started for me.
So how long exactly were you in training before you started to get on shows? And when I say get on shows, I don't mean competing in full-on matches. Obviously, trainees tend to sort of gravitate slowly. So when did you first start making
but I'm like the worst person to ask for like dates. I'm just terrible. Like I've got a bad memory anyway, but then on top of that, I've been kicked in the head a lot.
Oh yeah.
My memory is really vague. I don't really know dates and stuff. But I guess it was probably a year or something. It wasn't. This was way back when British indie scene wasn't really a thing. It was so few shows around, and there was just no, the quality. Obviously, there were great talents out there, but it was kind of few and far betwing back. This is quite a while ago now. So
that was before it really kicked off, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. So it was hard. I actually took a few years out. I was training or travelling the roads for probably about 3 years.
Yeah.
Until I was about 20.
Okay.
And then I took a few years out just because I was in a sort of place I couldn't really dedicate myself to wrestling.
Yeah.
Just a lot of real life situations going on.
Yeah, damn real life.
It's really I was practically homeless for a while. I was unemployed for a little bit, and again, there weren't really any money to be made in wrestling. It cost me a lot of money at the time, so it's not like it is today.
Yeah.
So I found it really hard. So obviously, I was so passionate about it that I didn't want to
just stop,
disrespect it, and just not give it my all. So I just stepped away from it. It's probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it again. By that time, CPW had started up.
Oh yeah.
So I started back. CPW started training again, trying to knock off all the ring rust.
Yeah.
Now I've been back at it for probably 4 years now.
Yeah, that's
altogether. I've probably been wrestling 7-8 years.
Yeah, And I
because I don't really count those few years that I took out.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, once you in it, once you smarten up to the business, you can always study it, and I was always watching wrestling and studying it from afar.
Yeah.
But I don't really count those as experience because
I
wasn't in a ring or anything like that.
Yeah. So well. I mean, I think think it's good to always take a bit of a break from it, because it's a very intense thing to be involved in. So I think there is a point. There's a time, there's a time when everyone needs to just not just completely step away from it and just not completely, but just take a step back a bit.
I couldn't give it 100%. And I didn't want to do that to the business. I didn't. It deserves more than that.
Basically, you respected the business too much to
just coast
to be doing it, but not be giving it everything you actually could give it.
And when my fight, as much as I wanted to give everything I could, so I just wasn't in a position where I could. So, I just thought, what, I'll step away from it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
hopefully
when you're homeless, pretty much, I don't think you can be blamed for.
Well, yeah. I guess.
So there is no.
There's a bit of a struggling time.
It didn't sound like the most fun you've ever had in your.
Like I say, I walked out from school, so there you go.
Yeah, well, the only person that I've ever known to actually, to take a teacher on that, and say, okay, bye.
I don't think I even gave an explanation as well.
You just sort of said, okay, I'll leave then.
I don't want to be here. You're right. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you said you've been wrestling now for what was it, 6-7-ish years?
Altogether, probably 7, 8.
7. Okay, 7, 8 years. So, in that time, what would you? And I will apologise. This is quite every person that I have asked this question to has gone sort of, oh my god, because it's someone passionate in advance. But in your 7-8 years of wrestling, who would you say your favourite person to work with is? And when I say that, I mean anything like triple threat, tag match, or even just seeing backstage, etc. Who do you think has you've enjoyed working the most with in your 8 or 7 years of doing this? It's quite. I
don't know.
It's a very difficult question.
It's striking up a lot of friendships and wrestling stuff, and everyone has their different qualities and things like that. There's some people I love travelling on a road with. And I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's say. Okay. Who do you think you work the best with? And when I say that, I mean the best in ring chemistries. So someone who you work so well with that you just feel like nothing goes wrong in that match.
Do you know what? I kind of pride myself on just adapting to different styles. So that's kind of hard to answer. I don't really know because I try and just the way I've worked on my in-ring style. I can just sort of strike
adapt
up
to basically
strike up a chemistry with
pretty much anyone you could get in the ring with.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, that's a hard one.
Well.
There's a lot of people. I don't want to disrespect. If I name one person, then
I can get that.
What me?
I mean, it's a very. So it makes it easier. I'll say name 5 or 10 people who you just off the top of your head just make it a little bit easier. So obviously, so you can avoid disrespecting too many people. So Charlie Rawlins, CJ Rawlins. I've always had great matches with him. I worked with him a lot. Corey Johnson, worked with him a lot. The founder of Nothing But Wrestling, by the way.
There you go. I don't know, man.
It's a difficult question, to be fair. So I don't think that there's. I mean, of course, you've been doing this now for 7-8 years. So there's gonna be a lot of people who you've.
There's a lot of people way back in the day I haven't seen for years or worked with for years. So I mean, me and Pete Dunne used to travel a lot together. And we used to train together. Way back in the day. So I used to travel with him a lot, and I remember having a lot of matches with him and Damien Dunne and people like that. So I don't know. But then I haven't worked with them for years. Like I said.
Yeah.
So it's hard. But I imagine if I ever stepped in the ring with them again, the chemistry would just be there.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, you know.
Yeah, but I think there are some people that you just never lose your connection with. I mean, even if you don't talk to them as much, you know, if you get in the ring with them, they just I can't click. They just know. So that smooth. You know,
that's what wrestling is, though. You know.
Yeah, you know, then you just know what each of the strengths and weaknesses are. So I think, So you worked with obviously quite a lot of people in your time in the business, but I imagine there's also quite a few people who you've not worked with. So, is there anyone that you can think? And again, these are quite tricky questions. I do apologise for that, but can you think of, let's say, 5 or so people who you've not worked with yet, but you think that you really like the opportunity to do that in the near future?
I don't know, just anyone, man. I'm always just looking forward to any match I have.
Yeah.
And get the best out of anyone, really.
Okay, let's say dream match then. So if you could face anyone in the world that's still competing right now, who would it be? And we'll just take that as a person who you have watched for the next few years.
Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa, yeah.
Someone like that, you know.
Yeah, so someone who essentially shares the same sort of in-ring style as you do, the sort of technical mix with the sort of strong style stuff, basically.
I just think he's just a great storyteller. So that would be a great story to tell.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah. So you worked for quite a lot of different promotions in your time as a wrestler. I'm not going to ask you to pick a favourite because I think that would be quite difficult for you to do, and quite unfair on the promotion you do pick if you pick any. But I will ask you: is there any person that you've not worked with that you think you really like the chance to work with at someone in the future?
Yeah, my match tonight, Mr. Richards.
Oh, fair enough.
That's going to happen tonight, so.
Fair enough. I'll be going to say, yeah. Right. I think.
Inside the cage. So
oh yeah, that. Is this your first match in a steel cage? Oh no, so you got quite a bit of experience in that then.
Not this cage, it's a different cage. So.
Well, I imagine, again, this is coming from someone with absolutely no experience in this whatsoever, but I imagine most steel cage matches are pretty much the same. Try not to get, put on in through the cage, basically. Yeah. Imagine they're all pretty much the same, isn't it? Just try not try to avoid the cage at all possibility, basically. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I don't want to keep you for too long, because I know you probably got a lot of stuff to do before the show starts.
Cool.
But actually, before you go, I want to ask if you want to plug your social medias, if you've got social medias, for the people watching this to follow.
Just Instagram, Liam Roberts Wrestler. So that's it.
That's really easy. Thank you. So there'll be like the so.
Always, I do want to plug the CPW training school. I'm the head trainer there. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, CPW Academy, the training school. So.
Yeah, so that's on what, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or
that'll be on there, Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, so. As always, there will be like a title card on the screen around Will/Liam. That's going to take a lot of getting used to. Will/Liam's corner.
Will Liam Roberts, though. Yeah.
I'll just call you Will, as that's what I'm used to. So there'll be a title card on screen around Will's corner, where there'll be the social medias he just listed. There'll also be links in the description down below if you want to go and click on them and give Will/Liam a follow on his Instagram and Coventry's Training Academy on Facebook. But yeah, myself have been there as well, Liam/Will. Again, thank you very much for joining me, massively appreciate it, and I will see you at some point in the near future, I imagine. So, thanks again, and I'll see you in a bit.
Cool.